Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new movie. The name of this movie is What If Naruto Was Given a Bijuu by Shinigami. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted movie. Now before continuing this, shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to my boy Moose_Yeet1 because he's the one who suggested me this idea. Now aside from that, stay tuned for a short story in my second channel as well. Now, before continuing this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And yes, as I mentioned before, I will be uploading a crossover between Percy Jackson or, some other universe, not Hell of a Boss or anything like that. I mean, those who I can do, right now, basically. Because I have watched somewhat of Marvel movies again, and yeah, I'm looking into DC universe a bit as well because their animated movies are quite fun, but as for their cinematic universe, yeah, about that. Yeah, just leave it at that. I don't want to start anything here. Okay, and moving onwards, yeah, just make sure you leave a like and subscribe to both of my channels, and without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. And plus, comment down below, your ideas for the crossovers. I'm all ears. Let's begin with our today's story. Roll the intro. Our story begins on October 10th at nighttime in Konoha, Sato. As we go towards the outskirts of the village where we see a lot of shinobis were gathered and were in a defensive position. Leading them was an old man named Hiruzen Sarutobi, the retired Hokage, as he steeled himself and boosted up the morale of the shinobis and konoichis that were present there, because in front of them was the worst enemy that they were about to face in the history of their battles, the Kyuubi no Yoko. It was supposed to be a peaceful night until it appeared. Thankfully, because of their senses, they were able to sense it appearing, and they were able to prepare in short time. But the main question was, where was their current leader? He was nowhere to be seen. And neither was his wife. As now we see Hiruzen then said, "Everyone, be strong now. We must hold on our ground until Minato gets here." As every one of them yelled out in unison, "Yes, Hokage-sama," as the battle began, or more like a one-sided one, because Kyuubi was thrashing them down. Their number dwindled and decreased with each slash of his tail and claw, and it was getting closer and closer to the outskirts of the village, the main gates, as the shinobis were retreating back bit by bit, and they were suffering heavy losses as well. It all stopped when a huge toad appeared and headbutted the fox, as all of them looked hopeful as they looked towards to the other side to see it was Minato. But something was odd. In his hand was an infant child, and a woman limpingly arrived there as well, as Hiruzen said, "Anbu, lead the charge. I have something to talk to Minato." As Anubis agreed, as now we see Hiruzen arrived there. "What the hell is wrong with you, Minato? Why would you bring your child here? Kushina, you're not in good health either. What are you doing here? Both of you." "Hokage-sama." "What do you mean, Hokage?" "Because I'm going to hand this over to you." "What? Are you insane? Are you going to turn?" "No, I'm not turning my back on the village." As that is when Hiruzen realized, "You're going to use that seal, aren't you? You're going with that plan that we discussed." As Minato didn't say anything but smile, a weak smile. "I'm sorry, this is the only way. I'm sorry, I really tried my best, but in the end, I guess I failed." As now we see Minato prepared an altar, as Hiruzen just stood there and watched with shock, as this was really happening. His successor was just about to sacrifice his life. And then Kushina spoke. "He is our child, and he will be the next Jinchuriki as well. We are both going to sacrifice ourselves and leave him under your care, Hiruzen Sarutobi. He is the head of the Uzumaki clan as well. Remember that. And as the current head, I am giving you the future head of the Uzumaki clan to be raised by you." As Hiruzen then said, after getting over his shock, "I humbly accept. I promise you. No, I vow that until there's a last breath in this body, nothing will happen to him. Nobody will harm him." As now we see, both of them then did the Hakafuyan seals. Minato did so to seal away the bijuu, but Kushina did it for another reason. As now we see, as the Shinigami appeared, the time stopped. As Shinigami was quite intrigued because normally only one human would summon it, but this time around there were two of them. What in the hell would you two want? You know this is against the laws, right? We apologize, but we're in a desperate need of your help. My son, I believe that even if we are trying our best, some of the peoples will get to him. And please, give him some strength. What strength? He is already strong enough, isn't he? And your husband has asked me to seal the bijuu inside of him. Please, Shinigami-sama, you know what I'm trying to say. You giving him strength and protection will be more than enough for us to rest finally with ease, knowing fully well that we're not only trusting them, but we have some sort of foolproof backup plan. I see. Well, the contract is already made, so no backing out now. As it ripped out its kunai-like sword and ripped out a part of its own self, as a bijuu was created from it. I created a bijuu for myself. Your child will be the only Jinchuriki of that bijuu. And after that bijuu will return with him. After his life here is finished. And so his business. As now we see that white orb that was created by the Shinigami ripping out of its own, cloak, entered Naruto's body, as did the Kyuubi. As after that, both of the bijuus disappeared and entered the seal that was prepared by Minato. And both of the parents bid their farewell to their child, and their souls were departed from their bodies, as per agreement with the Shinigami. As now we see Hiruzen look at the bodies of his successor and his wife as he picked up Naruto in his arms. Hokage-sama, said an Anbu that arrived there with silver hair, Kakashi. It seems that your sensei's son is the new Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Son? So yes, this is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. All of the shinobis that were there, and the clan heads, as well as the Anbus, heard this, and they paid respect to the fallen Hokage and his wife, and also had somewhat respect for the young soul that carried huge burden that none of them could fathom to carry. As now we see, Hiruzen then said, "Back, everyone gather up the bodies and return back to the morgue. We are going to prepare for a funeral within a few days and help out those who are buried deep down on the outskirts, the civilians." Hi, but Hokage-sama, what about the council? That is something that I need to worry about. And Kakashi? Here. As he handed over Naruto to him. What? Why? You need to take care of him for the time being, because I do not trust anyone aside from you that anyone would do better job than you. Thank you, Hokage-sama, said Kakashi, as after that we see both of them arrived at the Hokage office. Kakashi was in a separate room altogether with Naruto, as Hiruzen entered the council room with the Hokage hat in his hands, and sat down, placing the hat on the table, facing everyone, the elders, the civilian council, and the shinobi councils, whose eyes were widened, at least some of them were, and some of them were filled with sorrow. As Danzo then broke the ice, it seems Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, has passed away. Yes, he sacrificed his life, protecting us once more. I see. An honorable deed indeed. But I would like to know what happened to the Kyuubi, because how in the hell would it appear, and what happened to it? As for the Kyuubi appearing, it was Uchiha, said Fugaku Uchiha as he stood up. As everyone looked at him, what? I saw the Sharingan, Hokage-sama. But that Sharingan was different. What do you mean, Fugaku? How so? That Sharingan was different because that was an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan that can only be achieved once both brothers or relatives have the Sharingan, Mangekyo Sharingan, and one of them takes the eyes of the other. Such a cruel way to attain power. And the only person in the history that is ever recorded to achieve this power was Madara Uchiha, said Danzo himself as everyone flinched. But how can we be sure that it is Madara? Because it is an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and the pattern matches the ancient text that is recorded over the course of hundreds of years in the Uchiha history books. As everyone now looked at him, Fugaku-sama, what are we gonna do about this? How are we gonna tackle this? Is there a way? That is Madara Uchiha we are talking about. The rival of the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, the one that made the whole elemental nation tremble at its feet. Do you think that we can take care of that matter lightly? Said Danzo, as the civilians gulped. Then what are we gonna do? For the time being we can't do anything because that person has escaped. Minato was busy fighting him, while he was here, sending the bijuu at us. But why would he do this? Asked one of the civilians. Because of his hatred towards the clan for not standing up with him, again with his decision to betray Konoha. And not only that, because of what Konoha did to him. What did we do? Our ancestors and us made sure that his legacy was completely removed from the history books. As Hiruzen said these words, and everyone was shocked. So all these years he was alive? Homura said, what are we gonna do, Hiruzen? This is not good at all. As Danzo then said, regardless of what we are gonna do, that is something we need to discuss later on. But as of now I need to know, where is the bijuu right now? Did Madara take him or is he somewhere safe? He was sealed in a child. A child, you say? Is that even safe? Said Koharu. Yes, because that child is an Uzumaki and a Namikaze, as everyone guessed. So he used his own child, said Miboki Haruno, the head of the civilian council. He used Kushi-chan's child, and she allowed that? As Hiruzen looked at her, because he knew that the three of them, Mikoto, Mibuki, and Kushina, were like sisters. As Hiruzen then said, Mibuki-chan, she was also involved in the sealing. She knew that there was no other way because she was already dying. Damn it. We wish we could have done something for them, said Shikaku. But where is Naruto? He is with Kakashi right now. He is safe. But there's something that I don't understand, Hokage-sama, said Shikaku. What? Why would both of them use the Hakefuin seal, as you mentioned? Because, as far as I remember, you mentioning only one user is required. That is correct. At the time I didn't ask why. But maybe it's because they needed to ask Shinigami to empower the seal or something like that. To make sure that the QB doesn't break free. I see. So they sacrifice themselves just to make sure that we are safe. Now moving on, Hiruzen. There's one thing I would like to know. Are you going to be acting again as the Hokage? I believe I am. Is there any objections? Not at all, Hokage-sama, said the Shinobi Council, as well as the civilians. As Koharu then said, we as the Elder also agree, because you have done a great job in your previous regime, so what could go wrong right now? Many things can go wrong, but here's hoping for the better future this time around. Be hopeful, Hiruzen. Be hopeful. I guess you're right. So, is that all then? Said Hiruzen. Yes. After that they discussed a bit about the funeral and how many casualties happened, and what to do about the knowledge that they have gained. Now amongst the civilian council, some of them still detested the kid, albeit knowing that he was the Hokage's kid. And even after making it a law that anyone who reveals the identity of the Jinchuriki will be killed, some of them did so to the civilians. And all hell broke loose when they found out that the Jinchuriki was living amongst them in the skin of the Hokage-sama's child, who sacrificed himself alongside his wife to protect them. And the people were enraged, and they wanted the child to be executed. There were riots, but Hiruzen and the elders, as well as the council in general, even the civilian council, were able to calm them down. And after that they tracked down who did this and gotten rid of them. As after that we have a time skip of 8 years later. Naruto was a prodigal child, but since he was quite hated, he was restricted to enter in the shinobi library, which was owned by a civilian who lost her son and her daughter in the attack. So because of the grudge that he held against Naruto. He wouldn't allow him to enter, not even learning the basics. But Naruto, being a prodigy, he was able to copy the hand seals from watching the clan training and the Genin's training. And let's just say, Naruto was able to learn somewhat. But there was another problem. Since the Genins that were now becoming shinobis just now, they were brainwashed from the civilian side that Naruto was a demon and they need to get him killed somehow without getting caught. And let's just say, on October 10th, a new event was created by these sort of people, the Fox Hunt, in which they would hunt down Naruto. But luckily for Naruto, since he was cunning and smart, he was always able to escape, and ended up making them the one who got hurt in the process, earning him the nickname the Devil. As now we see, it was October 10th, and since it was Naruto's 9th birthday, Naruto was still running away as usual, as the people behind him were yelling at him, "Today we'll kill the demon," and so on, as Naruto rolled his eyes. This was probably his routine on each and every year on his birthday. Ugh, when will these people ever give up? As he was running, he got a little distracted, as he was yanked into the alleyway, as now we see him being thrown against a wall, as he fell down with a thud. Ugh, that hurts. But before he could get up, he was stabbed in the shoulder, causing a huge scream to occur from his mouth as he looked down in front of him with clenched eye and teeth to see that it was a civilian Genin. Ah, look at here. It's the little demon. Today's our lucky day. Finally! We're finally able to catch you after 8 long years. Could have sworn I could have gotten away if it wasn't for your genjutsu. That is fair. I prevail, and this is where you will fall. But before I do anything, I want you to remember my name. My name is Zuko, and you killed my family, and today is the day I'll get my revenge for them, he said as he dragged out his chikoto from his back and was about to stab Naruto until Naruto blacked out. His eyes were covered with darkness as his nails began to grow into sharp claws. As when his eyes opened, they were complete white. You want to feel true pain? So be it. As after that we see, in a dark cloud, Naruto disappeared and appeared above him, and all hell broke loose when screams occurred everywhere. And after that we see, a few minutes later, Naruto was standing on the other side, his eyes still white, his hands long and turned into claws, his whole body covered in blood, his wounds completely healed. As for the civilians, they were butchered down alongside the shinobis that were there. And that is the site where Hiruzen Sarutobi arrived at, because this power was similar to Kyuubi's but yet was terrifying and calm. As when Hiruzen and everyone arrived there, they were shocked to see it was Naruto. Naruto. My boy, what happened? Hiruzen Sarutobi. You promised my contractor, my master, that you will protect this child, said Naruto in a demonic deep voice as he took a step forward. As even Hiruzen was forced to take a step back because of the sheer terror that he felt from Naruto. As some of the shinobis attacked him, instantly feeling fear. "No," said Hiruzen, and instantly his eyes glowed a bit, and all of them fell down to the ground, even causing the ground to crack. "Kneel," was the only word he said. "Do you think you can attack me, the Egyptian god of death, Anubis?" As everyone was shocked after hearing out his name. "Anubis, who are you?" "I am nothing more than a servant of Shinigami, sent here to protect this child, created by him, a new bijuu." As this caused all of them to go into shock. And that is when Hiruzen's ears in his head started to turn. Kushina wasn't trying to enforce the seal. She was begging Shinigami to help because she knew this might happen. It was a mother's intuition, and mother's intuition was never wrong. And let's just say Hiruzen was now speechless. Enough. You don't need to worry about Naruto now, because it is my job now to protect him. You have been granted this duty for the past 9 years, and yet you haven't done a single thing to protect him. If it wasn't for me or the QB giving him the strength to run, he would have been captured and killed way before. And this caused many of the shinobis who were there to grow into quite shock. What? Yes, that is correct. While you were all busy playing shinobis and protective leaders, we were the ones who were trying to protect Naruto. As now we see, Anubis then said, "Now, move out of my way, Hiruzen, and let us leave." "No, I can't do that." "And why can't you do that?" "He is my responsibility. I know that. I promised. And yet you failed." "I haven't. I am trying my best to protect him, and yet it is not enough. This here is the proof. These people attacked him, and they paid the price of enraging me. We can talk this over, please. Let us discuss this with Naruto. If he wants to leave, I promise you, as the Hokage of this village, we will allow him to." That is correct. It is Naruto's decision after all. But don't for a moment think that I will not tell him instantly of what has happened and what conversation was held here. I will be completely transparent with him, unlike some of the people here. What do you mean? I will tell him about his heritage that you have been keeping from him. That wasn't the part of the deal. You should have told him as soon as he have grown enough old. We were trying to protect him. The council had no say in his heritage and what to do with it. Neither did you. As now we see, Hiruzen was speechless because what this monster or bijuu was saying was correct. And now he had no other choice but to convince Naruto that he was trying to protect him, and it was for all his sake. And that is only if Naruto agreed after this monster talked to him. Please, I will be transparent to him as well, completely about everything that happened. Somehow I highly doubt that, but I am only giving you one chance. Do not make me regret this. As after that we see Naruto's body begin to swirl as everything, his features and everything returned back to normal as he fainted. As soon as he fainted, he was grabbed by Kakashi. "Hokage-sama, what are we gonna do? Bring him to Anbu Hospital. Let him rest there. And some of you clean this up and call for a council meeting instantly." As now we see, as the Hokage ordered, it was done, and Hiruzen arrived at the council meeting chambers. As the council chamber was filled by everyone. "Hiruzen, why the sudden meeting?" "Let's just say today was quite a special day that it occurred." What do you mean, Hokage-sama?" Turns out Kushina wasn't trying to solidify the seal in Naruto all those years ago. She was requesting some sort of power to help Naruto. It turns out Shinigami ended up creating a new bijuu. One which is more terrifying and has the capability of thinking for itself. As all of them were shocked. "Wait, what? A new bijuu?" "Yes. And it seems that its only job is to protect Naruto from each and every bit of harm." As Danzo gritted his teeth, as Hiruzen looked at each and every one of persons who were there's expression, as some of them were terrified, some of them were shocked, and some of them were curious. And the rest, they were just plain scared. "Hokage-sama, is this... The bijuu is terrifyingly strong, and has the capability of just with a single glance rendering our strongest shinobis useless." As that is when Danzo became scared and paranoid. "Such strength. Hiruzen, we can't let this go to waste. We must now do what I told you to do all those years ago." "No, we're not gonna do anything. That being is dangerously strong, and we have only seen a fraction of its power. And that is what I'm saying, that we need to keep it under control. It can't be controlled. It's a servant of Shinigami that is created into a bijuu. Do you think that it will listen to us?" As now all of them remain quiet. Its only job here is to protect Naruto. So we're out of trouble as long as he is satisfied with the protection that is provided to him. We need to tell the civilians and come clean with Naruto about his heritage as well. The bijuu has warned us about, otherwise he will leave with Naruto. And do you think we'll let him leave? As suddenly the door bursted up and turned into splinters, as there stood a more terrifying Naruto. Because made out of dark cloak and mist, were the features as well as the outerwear of Anubis. As Naruto stood there with his eyes complete silver as he looked at everyone, and everyone felt the ominous power that arrived there. Do you think that I will just sit by and let you do as you wish? You humans have a lot of guts, and to make sure that you know who you are messing with, I am here to give you an example. Do you think we'll listen to you, demon? Demon. Can a demon do this? With a snap of its finger, 3 coffins rose from the ground. Tensei, said Hiruzen. As the difference about these coffins was that they were purple instead of normal. And once they bursted open, out came 3 Hokages. Minato no Mikaze, but in a zombie-like state, as well as Hashirama and Tobirama Senju. And everyone was afraid. This is my power. I can resurrect the dead as undead. Unlimited power, unlimited chakra. And without any brain, they are completely loyal to me. They'll do my bidding. They'll do anything I say, even if it means to kill you all. As now we see, instantly all of them turned pale. Their own loved ones turned against them, turned into mindless soldiers. That thought alone was downright terrifying. And this bijuu that was created by Shinigami, it was stronger than the 9 bijoos that they have faced. It was a other league monster that they could only wish to face, even with the help of other 9 bijoos. So, do you still want to fight? Do you think we are afraid of you? Oh, you will be, Danzo Shimura. As now Danzo was shocked. Each and every bit of your deeds, your past, everything has been written down. I can see it. Your hands are stained with the blood of innocent. You are guilty. Now, as the Chancellor in Hell, it is my duty to sentence you. But here I am acting as a guard and a warden of this child. So, let me do my job peacefully, and I will make sure that some of you will have lighter sentences once you arrive down in Hell. Otherwise, try me. As after that we see, instantly all of them were about to foam from their mouth when these words were alone said by Anubis. Anubis-sama, we apologize. Please give us a chance. No, Hiruzen, I already gave you one. I think I'll be leaving. No, please, Anubis. Listen to him. He is the only person who cared about me. And yet you still wish to live here, kid. I don't understand you humans. These are the very peoples that tortured you and hid many secrets from me, but now want to even use you as a weapon, and yet you still side with them. Not all of them do. You know that, right? Even Kurama does. Kurama and you are child, while I have been existing as long as these mammals have been. And they are greedy bastards down to their core. They won't even give you anything, even if it means to save your life, knowing that it won't facilitate them in any other way. Think about it, kid. As Anubis was talking, it was taught by Naruto. Please, Anubis. Just one chance. I beg of you. Just for the sake of Gigi. Just for the sake of my parents. I am willing to give them another chance. Just once. Fine, kid. Fine. But only once. Because you are my ward, and whether you like it or not, it is my duty to protect you. Even if it means it is against your happiness. As now I see, Naruto was grateful. Thank you, Anubis. Don't thank me. As after that we see Naruto once more fainted as all of the features that were created by the dark mist disappeared, and the ominous feeling went away. So Naruto, he was able to convince him. Yes. He is willing to even give us a chance, said Mabuki as she got up. Hokage-sama, we as the civilian vow that none of these civilians will ever hurt him again. Please allow us to reveal his whole name as well as his heritage to the civilians. Fine, you have my permission. But Hiruzen, you have just witnessed what could go wrong, and yet you are hell-bent on our old methods? Just how fruitful they have proven, Koharu. As now we see, Hiruzen then said, "It is decided that by now, a new law is published regarding Naruto Uzumaki. His whole heritage will be revealed to everyone. But what about the enemies we'll deal with? We have strong enough shinobi forces. Naruto will be kept close. And he is protected by Anubis-sama, who is more than capable of protecting him. Let's not forget about that." As everyone agreed to that, as now we see, Naruto, from the next day onwards, when he got up, began his academy years. And after that, his heritage was revealed as well, and everyone now knew who he was. And as for Naruto, he was getting along with Anubis, or started to, as well as with Kurama. And as time went by, both of them trained Naruto as well as in Naruto's heritage. And Naruto warmed up to them, and they warmed up to Naruto as well. Because for Anubis, it was for the first time, aside from being nothing more a servant to his master, he was feeling akin to Naruto. Somewhere he could belong finally. Something akin to a family. Now he was realizing that how humans' mind work, why they always cried, even if they were bad, about their family and how they missed them when they were suffering. As time began to pass by and Naruto reached at the age of 13, the day he was graduated from the academy. Well, was supposed to. He was failed that day, deliberately, by one of the senseis. Naruto was saddened that he couldn't graduate, but that is when he was approached by one of the senseis who failed him. Hey Naruto, you look down. Yeah sensei, I didn't graduate. Well, how about this, my boy? I have a test for you. If you are able to do this, you'll be able to become a Genin. Who knows, maybe Rookie of the Year. What test, sensei? Oh, it's simple. As after the instructions were given to Naruto, Naruto looked at him as the sensei, which was Mizuki, now started to sweat. Why are you looking at me like that, Naruto? Like I've grown a second head or something. It's just that I never heard about this test. Are you sure it is? Yeah, it's an old test, way before, even a third Hokage's regime entered the second Hokage's. Huh. I guess I haven't read that much Law of Konoha. He is lying. I can sense it, Naruto. Of course I know he is. He deliberately failed me and deliberately failed the test to find out what's the matter with him. Now's the chance. I still don't understand why you're taking this risk, Naruto, said Kurama. Oh, come on, Kurama. You know that it is for the sake of this village, right? But our sake is to protect you. We are worried for your sake, not this village, because we have seen just how cruel they can be. Come on, guys, so have I. But not like they knew. It was because of foolishness of some of those people that things come to that. Even I was made aware of that, and yet you're gonna forget them like this? What happened to you in the past? Of course not. But I forgive and don't forget. So I'm always cautious with them. I don't trust them. They have lost the, opportunity to gain my trust to begin with. Well, he got that right. So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do it. As now we see Naruto arrived at the Hokage office, where he saw that the elders were situated and were having a meeting with Hiruzen. Is there something we can help you with, Naruto? Said Danzo. Danzo-sama. Elders. Gigi. Well, I was failed today. Yes, we were discussing why. Because you are quite a promising student. And why did you fail? Even if these were Jonin level questions there, you could have easily passed them. Why, Naruto-kun? I wanted to know why Mizuki-sensei would give again in Jonin level questions. Always look underneath the underneath. Quite the perspective I've, young one. So, what did you find out? He wants me to steal the scroll of sealing from Hokage-sama's office, saying that it will help me to not only become a Genin, but also become the Rookie of the Year. It's some sort of test that has been set by the second Hokage, way before even your regime. Well, he forgot to mention that you were his students at the time, or realized that. Idiot. So, have you found out who he working for? Well, that is why I am here. So you're here to steal the scroll? No. I'm only here to see it so that I can turn my clone into its copy and be on my merry way. And you think that will let you go there alone and face a Chunin? Of course not. Your Anubis will be watching me 24/7, is it not correct, Gigi? My god, this boy. Yes, of course they will be. Be safe, Naruto. Alright, Gigi, I'm off then. As after that we see Naruto saw the scroll and made a copy of it with the help of his clone and disappeared. Are you going to let that boy walk into that danger? Said Koharu, after knowing fully well that who is protecting him and how he can get mad at us for letting him get into danger? Now that you mention it, I didn't thought about that, but knowing that Naruto has this idea, I think Anubis somehow would have agreed with him, because they can communicate, remember? You have a good point. Regardless, we need to keep a close eye. Well, that thing is also covered, my friends. As he brought out his orb, and in that we see now Naruto arriving at the rendezvous point. He's already there. Quite a fast one. And the Anubis arrived there as well now. The Anubis are there as well. Meaning he's faster than the Anubis. Just how much of the training did those bijus put him through? We're about to find out. As Mizuki suddenly appeared and threw a Fuma Shuriken at Naruto, only for Naruto to throw the scroll at the Fuma Shuriken and explode it into tiny bits. As now we see Mizuki arrive. No! You do know what you have done! You have destroyed the scroll of sealing, you damn idiot! Yeah, about that. I did. But why did you throw a shuriken at me? It was a part of test, you idiot. Oh, you should have said so. I thought you were some sort of traitor who was gonna betray the village and even fooled me and tricked me into stealing the scroll. As now we see Mizuki literally turn pale as Naruto's eyes turn silver. Did you not? As instantly Naruto then said, kneel. As instantly he was slammed to the ground by the sheer force of the killer intent that was released by Naruto. As Naruto in his Anubis state walked towards Mizuki. Now, tell me, who is the one who sent you here? Who wanted you to do this deed? Orochimaru, please, let me live. Let me live. Silence. As with a single slap across the face, Mizuki's half face was swollen. His teeth were broken, piercing his own skin from within, and blood was seeping out from his mouth, and he was literally screaming in agony while pissing his pants. Pathetic. As Naruto threw him against the tree, causing him to fall down with a thud. As Naruto returned back to his normal self. Jeez, Anubis, I told you to take it easy, said Naruto out loud. And now they were aware that Anubis was able to take control of whenever he wanted from Naruto. Or more like Naruto allowed him to. And whenever that happened, let's just say someone's bones or body parts cracked or broke. As the Anubis arrived. You know, Naruto, you could have taken it easy. Hey, it's not my fault. It's Anubis. You want to talk to him? No, not at all. I'm good. Just, go easy, please. We still have to interrogate him. It's Orochimaru, by the way. Orochimaru. As now we see the elders and the Hokage watching this from the orb. Damn it. Hiruzen, what are we gonna do with a student of yours? You had a chance to kill him, and yet you didn't. I know. I made a great mistake. And so did he, coming back here after all these years. I'm gonna make sure that he regrets doing what he did. You better, Hiruzen. Because if anything that you did wrong, it was that with that boy becoming a sociopath. Of course I know. As after that we see Naruto next morning returned back to the academy with a headband, and that is when Shikamaru, who was his friend, then asked, Hey, Naruto, what the hell are you doing here, and how did you get that headband? Oh yeah, I got that headband in lottery, not by defeating Mizuki Sensei, who was a traitor, and yeah, as a reward getting this one. As he wanted to say something back to Naruto and then said, such a drag. You could have said so that yourself. As now we see, he sat down and fell asleep, and Iruka entered the class as he looked at Naruto, because he was amongst the Junins who watched Anubis in action for the first time. Greetings, everyone. As you might be wondering why Naruto is here, some of you at least, Naruto has been giving the headband because of stopping the traitor Mizuki. And yes, he is, well, now again in as well. So moving onwards, I want to congratulate all of you for becoming Genins and graduating from being called my students to now being my comrades. Now, today is the day where you will be placed in teams. But let me remind you, those comrades of yours are not only your teammates and comrades, they are your family, your second family and your best friends, who you can rely your life upon them and have to protect them with yours as well. As all of them nodded. Now, let us begin with the team formations. And finally, as in canon, all the teams went. And now we see one by one each and every sensei arrived and took their own specific team until Team 7, which consisted of Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha, and Naruto Uzumaki remained. Now the whole class was empty. Sakura was pacing left and right. Sasuke was just seated, waiting patiently. Naruto was meditating with closed eyes, as Sasuke looked at Naruto with intrigued expression as he arrived in front of Naruto. What do you want, Sasuke? As Sasuke was quite shocked. How did you? I can sense everything within my field of view, but you can't see anything, Naruto. How is that even possible? Said Sakura, quite intrigued. Since Naruto was a genius, this Sakura never bullied Naruto, but she was still a fangirl of Sasuke. Well, Sakura, it is because I can sense chakra. Chakra flow everywhere. So, I can see the chakra signatures, which are a little bit more potent than the air, which consist only within humans, to identify and indicate where one is standing. And from the looks of it, our sensei is arriving, and he's right on the other side of the door. And as soon as Naruto said these words, the door slid open, and in came Kakashi Hatake. As Naruto looked at him, seriously, Nissan, you could have gotten here way much early onwards. You know that, right, Mama? Still, Naruto, you know that I came across an old lady. Again? Yes, again. Well, you know how it is. Whenever I'm out there walking, doing some good work, always someone crosses my way. Either it's an old lady with a huge luggage or a black cat. Geez, enough with your lame excuses, Nissan. Everyone meet Kakashi Hatake, one of the best shinobis, but he has a bad tendency of being late. Tell me about it. And he's also my Nissan. As now we see Kakashi, I smiled. Yo. And you are my precious little cannons. Now, rooftop, 5 minutes by, he disappeared in Ascension. Well, you heard him. See you there. As instantly Naruto disappeared, following him suit, as both Sakura and Sasuke were shocked. He can do the Senshin as well? As both of them arrived at the rooftop, and after arriving there, they did the introduction. Instead of this time around Sasuke saying that he wanted to kill his Nissan, it was to get strong enough to, be able to stand toe-to-toe and go toe-to-toe with his Nissan and become the second strongest or the first strongest Uchiha, even far more stronger than Madara, if possible. And that was quite commendable. And as for Naruto, he didn't have any particular aim since he didn't want to become a Hokage because he always saw how his GG was. Working hard and in the end, always ended up with more paperwork. So, yeah, not for him. He was a shinobi, a free bird, not a caged one. So he just said that he will go with the flow, which caused all of them to have a huge sweat drop on their head. And after that we see Sakura, glancing at Sasuke, and Sasuke literally turning more pale as soon as she giggled and looked at him. And the others also kind of retracted back from her for a bit. And after that, Kakashi mentioned something about belt test, and let's just say, when they arrived there, empty stomach next morning, Naruto mentioned them that they should eat something a little lightweight. And after that, they did so because they knew if Naruto said this, there might be some meaning behind it. After that, once they ate some bit, Naruto revealed to them that they need to work together because The bell test consists of only two bells, and from Naruto, what Naruto could remember, they are pitted against each other's. And when they asked why they should then work together, Naruto revealed to them that there hasn't been a single two-man cell team in the history of the shinobi world. And since they need to work together, it is a test to see if they are willing to sacrifice oneself for the other. And he quoted Iruka's words as well. And that is when they realized what the true test was. But surprising for them, Kakashi heard all of this and was quite angry at Naruto for, in a playful manner, that he ruined all the fun. But he was happy that they understood the lesson behind this test, and now that they realized what the true lesson was, the real test began. And let's just say, they were not able to get the belts, but they were able to almost get them within due time, multiple times, with the help of one another and coordinating with one another. Sometimes Naruto would listen to Sakura, and so did Sasuke. And sometimes Sasuke would ask them to do this, and sometimes Naruto would ask the other two to do this. And with the help of the three of them coordinating with one another, they were able to become a perfect team, and something that Kakashi could work with great interest and pride. He was happy that his sensei's son and, well, one of Obita's clansmen were going this far. And Sakura, she also showed somewhat potential. And for a mere brief moment, he saw something within them. A visage of the three Sanins, or someone who could surpass even them. As now we see, after that, they were passed and became the official Team 7, and their D-rank journey began. They were able to do the D-ranks like breeze within only a few weeks. The fastest and the first most team to set a record of completing 40 missions within the shortest course of time. And after that, their first C-rank mission arrived, which was to deliver scrolls to Suna. And after doing so, they returned and were given their second C-rank, which was to deliver a bridge builder back to his village safely, which was Tazuna. As they were departing, Naruto noticed something and asked Sasuke the question, did he feel something off, since he was a Sharingan user? Sasuke was able to activate his one Tomo Sharingan each and was able to see that there was a genjutsu there. It's a genjutsu. But how did you? It hasn't rained. Konoha is warm in these days. It rarely rains, and it hasn't rained for the past 2-3 weeks. And why is there a puddle in between the ground in front of us that looks fresh? You're right, said Sakura. As now we see, Naruto then said, well, I can do something about that. As he made a hand seal, as 4 golden adamantium chains came from his back, thrusting themselves into the puddle, as huge screams were heard. And when the puddle poofed into a smoke, 2 figures were now being lifted up. One of the chains wrapping around their feet, and one of them wrapping around both of their arms, as they were lifted in the air. As Sasuke, Kakashi, and Sakura, alongside with Tazuna and Naruto, moved forward in a defensive position, as Kakashi then asked, now, can I ask a question? Why in the hell demon brothers are here, far away from their domain? We are here for the bridge builder. Hand him over to us and we will leave peacefully. For someone who was captured, you speak a lot, Naruto said as he tightened the chains. Now answer the question. Who sent you here? Who called for the hit? Gato. It's Gato. Gato is the one behind this. That fucker is lying to you. He's walking you into that trap. That much is for sure, kid. You talk too much. As 2 more chains appeared, as Naruto slapped the chains across their face multiple times, causing huge gashes to appear and causing them to knock out as they fell down to the ground. As the 6 chains retreated back, as both Sasuke and Sakura looked at him. Naruto, don't you think? As they noticed that Naruto's eyes were somewhat silver before returning back to normal. Sorry, what were you saying? Look at them. Damn it. Not again. Naruto, said Kakashi with wide eye. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything is fine, Sensei. I guess I just need some rest. As now we see Naruto was in a meditative position again, as he went inside his mindscape, where he saw Anubis and Kurama conversing with one another. Hey guys. Naruto, you're here. I guess you noticed that as well, right? Yeah. Something weird happened, didn't it? Yes. It seems my anger was unleashed, said Anubis. Your anger? Yes. I am a sentient being, Naruto, who was turned into a bijuu. I also had anger before. My anger and rage turned into a split personality, I presume, and is mixed with your darkness. As that is when from the shadow, a huge Anubis Naruto walked out, but with complete red and black eyes, with silver hue in them. Who are you? Naruto said. I am your darkness. We are your darkness, said Naruto in front of him. Darkness? Yes. All of your hatred, all of your sorrow, all of your anger, rage. It's me. It always has been me. As that is when Naruto was terrified for the first time in his life of something that was him. As Naruto then said, why would you do this? Why, you ask? If I hadn't, then he would have killed you. Or would you have it had it any other way? As Naruto literally flinched, as Anubis then said, I don't care if you are part of Naruto. If you are in danger to him, I will rip him to shreds. As a dark Anubis walked out alongside a dark Kyuubi, like whoever to sit by and let that happen. As both of them were quite shocked by this. Yours, darkness. And we sided with him, because we know that he is like us. As Naruto then did something, he walked in front of the shadow Naruto, who was smirking. What are you gonna do, fight me? No. As Naruto hugged him, causing him to go into a deep shock. What are you doing? Said the dark Naruto with wide eyes. You're a part of me. I'm happily going to accept you. You beared a lot of my hatred, all of it, for a long time. Let me bear all of it now. Let us bear it together. As that is when dark Naruto, eyes widened as dark black tears fell down as he turned into bright light and emerged completely with Naruto, becoming one. Impossible. You were able to become one with your darkness. Become the perfect form of, said the dark Kurama, as the real Kurama said, yin and yang. You know what this means, right? He is the child of prophecy. The one that is said to bring us and the humans together. Oh, I remember Shinigami-sama mentioning something like that. Now I know why he sent me here. Alright, I get it. As now we see Naruto finally opened his eyes to a scream as he dashed downstairs while this was going on to see that he was in some sort of room and in a house more like it, and downstairs there were some people with katanas that were terrorizing a kid and a woman. Naruto took care of both of them and asked who were they, and they revealed that they were Tazuna's daughter and his grandson, and he was in their house and he has been unconscious for past 1 week in a meditative position. His teammates were getting worried, but they also had to complete a mission, and they're now at the bridge. As Naruto dashed there, as after he arrived there, he saw that his sensei was fighting someone with a used sword. He instantly arrived there and activated the Anubis mode, as he called it. As with a single slash of his nails, the sword was shattered into multiple splinters. As Naruto kicked the said man in the face, sending him flying back, causing his both of the arms to shatter with such force. As that is when a clapping sound was heard as on the other side Gato arrived. He wanted them all dead, but Naruto, who was still in Anubis mode, who was also the one who gave out the punishment, saw what he has done. And let's just say, for the first time he used his ultimate technique, domain expansion, as the domain was expanded. Judge of Hell, as a huge table appeared with a hammer, as the hammer with a direct indication towards Gato ruled over him with a kanji that said guilty. And for eternity, Gato and all those of his followers were sent down to the pits of hell to suffer. And the domain disbanded, as now we see Naruto return back to normal with a headache. How long was I out? A week? They say? Damn, I feel weak now. Naruto, said his teammates as they arrived there. You okay? You gave us a huge scare, you idiot. We thought that something bad happened to you. What happened? Said Sakura. I was in a meditative position. I did not know how longer it happened. Does it have something to do with what happened when you were dealing with the demon brothers? Yes. What was it? My darkness. Your darkness? I became one with it, Sensei. Made peace with it. Now we are whole. I can feel rage once more. Like any other normal human, I can feel all of my emotions. Not only happiness. As after that we see that Kakashi said that they will discuss this once they return. And after that they helped out the bridge to be completed and returned back to Konoha. Only for Jiraiya and many of the Anubis to be at the front gates and patrolling. Kakashi was quite shocked to see this, as that is when Hiruzuna said, you're here. You're the last one of the teams. What is going on, Hokage-sama? The Chunin exams are cancelled. What? Why? Because I said so, said Jiraiya. Jiraiya-sama, you're back. But, not that I'm mad or anything, but what is going on? Our organization known as Akatsuki, made up of S-rank missing nins from different villages, which contains Orochimaru as well. They are planning to attack with the forces of Otogakure, a village created by Orochimaru. What? Yes. So they're gonna... Yes, they are heading towards here. They have waged a war, and Rain is helping them out. And we are preparing for a war as well. As now we see, within a few moments, the armies were on the horizon and were in the eyesight of Konoha. Naruto knew that he had to help, and that is why he broke the seal, letting out full KCM2 and Anubis energy, and dashed headfirst into the battle. And let's just say, when Naruto in that state was battling, he was like a wild monster that couldn't be contained, like he has let his inner demons out. And the pure shock and terror on the faces of the forces of on the forces of Rain and Otto was quite interesting in the eyes of Konoha, because they were finally able to see the true powers of Anubis. And let's just say, when Akatsuki and Orochimaru arrived with their own adjutances, Naruto raised all of those who have died, their own soldiers, and all of the Hokages of the past, and even Madara himself as his servant, the undead, and unleashed it upon them, and millions of skeleton soldiers were also raised, as Anubis was leading them, the army of the undead. And let's just say, they were now the ones who were being overwhelmed, and they couldn't even bear to see their own death, because they were ripped apart by the skeletons. They were mowed down after being bitten again and again and again until nothing remained. The most painful death was offered to them, the one who disrupted peace. Now Naruto looked towards the other side, at Konoha, who were afraid, and then at the other side, which caused them to go into confusion. I know you are hiding. The spies from different villages. You were here to see the destruction of this village. But let me remind you, I am Naruto Uzumaki, and I am the protector of this village. I will give my strength to those and help those who become our allies, and I will destroy and erase those who will become our enemies. I am the leader of Uchiha and friends of Konoha's, and both of them are under my domain. You better believe it, said Naruto, as instantly all of them dashed away, as Naruto returned back to somewhat normal state, as he walked back to Konoha's gates, which were now opened, as he looked back to see that all of the undead army was now kneeling in front of him, as with a single hand sign all of them dissolved down and turned into nothing more than dust that flew by with a gust of wind. As Naruto looked at all of the armies that were standing within an army of Konoha, and let's just say they were looking at him with awe and shock and a somewhat fear, something of akin to respect as well, because Naruto, just a mere genin, was able to not only destroy 2 villages with a single go, but also made an assert dominance of himself, being the leader of the Uchiha and the comrades of Konoha, and instilled the fear of his powers in the hearts of the other leaders. giving them a clear-cut message, be his allies or be his enemies. And let's just say, this method proved to be much more right as they chose to be his allies soon after that. And Naruto was more than happy enough to let them in as his allies. And after that we have a time skip of 8 years. Naruto was now the acting Kage, Sasuke was the Shadow Kage, and Sakura was the assistant, as well as an acting medic right after Tsunade. Tsunade Senju was returned back to the village, and so was, well, Jiraiya. And Hiruzen was also alive and well. And as for the rest of the elemental nations, they were now getting more peaceful and prosper, and the bijus were now much more respected than ever before. As for the Akatsuki and the Otsutsuki's, after witnessing this new biju's powers, which was much more stronger and was created by Shinigami, they tried to avoid the earth in itself, knowing fully well that if Kaguya failed so badly, what could they do? As for Naruto, his regime and his empire was just standing and was at its foundation. He had a long way to go in front of him, and plus, he still had a queen to choose, which was another headache coming his way soon. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and stay tuned for a short story on my second channel as well. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace!